Genshin Impact is a progress-based game, which means that as you play more and do more stuff in the game, your account will get stronger. And certain characters will help you streamline that process, whether it be clearing the abyss or even 36 starring it. Now let me preface this by saying that all characters can be viable, it's just that some take more effort than others, and some are straight up, to be honest, bad. They're just bad. It's a fact. I'm sorry if you main them, but objectively, they're bad. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Don't blame me. Blame Hoyoverse for making your main terrible. So the characters about to show you will help you make your life a lot easier. Either you deal more damage or it's a comfort style thing. So the first one is the one and only Bennett. Bennett is Bennett. I think a lot of people know about Bennett by now. He buffs you a lot, brings your attack really high, so attack scaling characters benefit greatly from him. And he also fulfills the heal role, which is also important because you need to stay alive to do damage. So heal plus a huge, and I mean massive buff is what makes Bennett so good. He's pyro, so you have pyro resonance, which buffs your attack even further. So it's just a win, 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 win. The only thing is that Bennett can't be on both teams in the Abyss, so that's literally his only weakness. The second one is Xingqiu. Xingqiu, basically, you can run on any team because Hydro is such an important element that works with a lot of other elements as well. Let's say you run a Vaporize team. Xingqiu is great. If you run Freeze, Xingqiu can work. He's not, you know, the premium, I guess, or like, let's say Ayaka team. He could work on an Ayaka team. He just works in a lot of teams. Hyper Bloom, regular Bloom, Taser even. Xingqiu just works, and he works well because his Hydro application is great. And once you get into higher investment, his damage is great. His personal damage is great because his burst does a lot of damage. And for defensive capabilities, Xingqiu's defensive capabilities, damage mitigation is not that bad. Like, it's pretty good. And you heal a little bit, so you know, he also does a bit of everything as well. Kazaha. Kazaha is an anima unit which allows you to run Viridescent Venerer set that shreds the elemental resistance of enemies of whatever element you swirl. So that's really great for elemental damage type teams, which is a majority of teams. Kazaha is also great for grouping. His skill makes it easier to group enemies if they can be grouped. And if not, you know, it's a good AoE damage swirl because you're going to build a lot of EM on him and swirl scales off EM. So you'll do a decent amount of damage with Kazaha as well. And overall, what makes Kazaha so good is that you can swirl, which means you can run Viridescent, and you can buff the elemental damage of your teammates. And it's a pretty significant buff as well. Also, as a bonus, Exploration, you get vertical movement, which is great if you don't want to spend 10 hours climbing a mountain. Next up is Nahida. Nahida, when she came into the game, she changed the meta by a lot. Nahida is a definition of Dendro. She is Dendro. You could put her on any Dendro team and she'll work pretty much. She allows Dendro to be so strong. Like, Dendro without her is also strong, but she makes it even stronger. She takes it to another level. Her consistent Dendro application, her skilled damage, her scalings is phenomenal. Nahida is the definition of versatility in Dendro teams. Then we have Xiangling. You get her for free, so you're gonna have her eventually. I just want to mention that once you get her, you should use her. She's a really strong pyro support / DPS. She's like an off-field DPS, but her damage hits like a truck, pretty much similar to on-field DPS, if not even more. I don't know what Genshin was thinking. All these old 4-stars that I'm talking about, yeah, they're pretty broken. The last one I want to highlight, and I'm not saying that all the other characters I didn't mention are bad, like Fischl, Sucrose, those characters are amazing. Sucrose can be better than Kazaha in some teams, and Fischl is such a flexible unit as well, and she does a lot of damage too, especially with the addition of Dendro. But Zhongli is kind of based on whatever you want in your account. If you want comfort, Zhongli is the premier option. I have Zhongli, and to be honest, I got worse at the game. I can't dodge anymore. I just rely on Zhongli's shield, but it makes my life so much easier because Zhongli increases stagger resistance and shreds enemies resistance, and you don't take damage if you just run full HP bot, which a lot of you will probably be doing. Now, Zhongli doesn't buff your damage by a lot. He's not like the premier option of buffing your damage, but he is the premier option of staying comfy and staying alive. So it depends on whatever type of player you are. Like I said at the beginning, not every character is a must-have that I said on this list. It depends on your account, depends on what you want, what playstyle you want, right? If you want to freeze and you only love freeze, Aika is good, Kokomi is good for freeze, Shenhe, Kazaha is still good, but it depends on what you want to play. You want a Xiao team? Pull Xiao. Sucrose is amazing for Xiao. Farzan, C6. Below C6, she's kind of weird, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Depends on your count. But if you're a player that just wants to focus on meta of metas, well, these characters are for you. They're going to make your life a lot easier, and clearing the abyss a lot easier as well. The characters I just mentioned, I mentioned basically the full national team because they're just so good. I don't like the team. I think I played it too much and I got sick of it, but it's a fact that it's strong. And then Nahida with like Hyper Bloom, that's a strong team. And you have 2 Abyss teams. That clears Abyss pretty easily. But yeah, that's about it. Genshin, single player game, but if you want to progress really fast, these characters are the ones for you. If you don't care, go ahead, pull whoever you want. I encourage you to pull whoever you want. Don't only focus on meta. Try to have fun on the game. But if meta is your way of having fun, then yeah, I hope this helped you. I've been playing the game for over 2 years, and well, you get to know a lot more about the game than yourself when you devoted your life to it. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, subscribe if you liked it. Okay, bye-bye. Or not, I guess. You don't have to subscribe. Just watching is good enough. But I like the subscription number. I like big number, so okay, bye-bye.